Most women over 50 have already tried everything when it comes to sheet masks. A hydrating mask before a wedding, a firming mask on Sunday nights, a luxury silk mask bought at the department store counter after a difficult week. The skin looks plumper for 2 hours and returns to baseline by morning. The problem is not the mask, it is the category. Most sheet masks are formulated as short-term hydration events for skin that already produces enough of its own moisture. Mature skin does not. The serum sits on the surface for 20 minutes and evaporates within the hour, and the barrier underneath was never given anything to hold on to. We tested 7 of the most popular sheet masks against the only 5 criteria that matter for mature skin. One clear winner. Starting with number 7. If this video is helping you sort the shelf from the story, consider subscribing. No hype, no sponsors. Just labels read carefully, and parent companies named. Number 7. Tony Moly I'm Real Sheet Mask. Around $4. The 5 criteria the testing was built around are simple, and they are the criteria a dermatologist would write on a prescription pad if dermatologists wrote prescriptions for sheet masks. A serum load high enough to saturate the mask without pooling on the skin. Ceramide, peptide or niacinamide at working concentration disclosed on the packaging. A cotton or hydrogel material that holds serum against skin for the full 20 minutes without drying out. Fragrance-free formulation. And a serum residue that can be patted in rather than rinsed off, so the actives are not washed down the drain at the end. The Tony Moly I'm Real Sheet Mask meets 3 of the 5. The serum load is high, the cotton material holds serum well for 20 minutes, and the residue is designed to be patted in. The formula varies by variant, and the range includes hyaluronic acid, snail mucin, red wine and tea tree options at different price points. The hyaluronic acid variant meets the working concentration criterion. Most other variants do not disclose active percentages. The luxury comparison is SK2 facial treatment mask at $17 per mask. SK2 is built around the proprietary Pitera ferment, and the mask soaks in the same essence that costs $185 per bottle in the standalone product. The Pitera concentration is not disclosed. The price gap is over 4 times for less ingredient transparency, and a fragrance mature skin does not need. One thing worth knowing. Tony Moly I'm Real Sheet Masks contain fragrance in the fragranced variants, which is the criterion this line often misses. For women whose skin tolerates fragrance well, the $4 price and the strong serum load make this a reasonable entry-level buy. For fragrance-free requirements, the products further down this list deliver more. $4. A strong serum load in a cotton format. The next one was developed by a Korean dermatology-adjacent brand with disclosed active percentages on every single mask in the line. Number 6, CoSRX, Advanced Snail Peptide Sheet Mask. Around $3 per mask. CoSRX was founded in 2013 in Seoul with one stated principle. Every product would disclose the concentration of its primary active on the front of the packaging. The Advanced Snail Peptide Sheet Mask contains snail secretion filtrate at 74% as the serum base paired with copper peptides, hyaluronic acid and niacinamide. Snail secretion filtrate has documented activity in dermatology literature for supporting skin barrier repair and post-inflammatory recovery. The copper peptides support collagen synthesis, fragrance-free. The luxury comparison is La Mer, the treatment lotion, hydrating mask at $120 for a pack of 6, which works out to $20 per mask. La Mer leads with the miracle broth and a fragrance the brand markets as part of the experience. The peptide concentration is not disclosed. There is no peer-reviewed clinical study on La Mer's sheet mask formulation. The price gap is over 6 times per mask for less ingredient transparency. One thing worth knowing: COSRX Advanced Snail Peptide Sheet. Mask uses snail secretion filtrate as the primary active, which some women find unappealing conceptually, even when the mechanism is well documented. For women who focus on the ingredient list rather than the marketing copy, this is one of the strongest $3 buys in the sheet mask category. $3. 74% snail secretion filtrate at a disclosed concentration. The next product is where a heritage brand most women trust failed the criteria it built its reputation on. Number 5. Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Hydrating 100% hydrogel mask. Around $4 per mask. Neutrogena is owned by Kenvue, formerly the consumer division of Johnson & Johnson. The Hydro Boost line was launched in 2016 around hyaluronic acid as the primary active, and the sheet mask version uses a hydrogel material rather than cotton. Hydrogel masks form a tight seal against the skin, which theoretically improves absorption. The brand markets the mask as a heavy-duty hydration treatment. Flip the Neutrogena Hydro Boost hydrogel mask packet over. The serum contains water, glycerin and hyaluronic acid at an undisclosed concentration. Fragrance is included in the inactive ingredients at a position higher than the peptide, ceramide or niacinamide additions found in newer competitors. There is no ceramide in the formula. There is no peptide at working concentration. The Neutrogena brand carries strong drugstore trust, but the hydrogel version of Hydro Boost has not been reformulated significantly since 2016, while the sheet mask category around it has evolved rapidly. The luxury comparison is Chanel Hydra Beauty Camellia Water Cream Sheet Mask at $75 for a pack of 6, or $12.50 per mask. Chanel leads with camellia extract and a fragrance the brand markets as part of the experience. The formula does not disclose a hyaluronic acid concentration. Both masks treat surface hydration through humectants. Neither is built for the barrier requirements of mature skin. The price gap is 3 times per mask for the same fundamental category. One thing worth knowing: Neutrogena Hydro Boost. Hydrogel mask does deliver strong immediate hydration and is significantly cheaper than most alternatives. For women whose primary concern is a 2-hour glow before an event, this is a reasonable $4 buy. For overnight barrier improvement, the formula meets 2 of 5 criteria. $4. 2 of 5 criteria. The next product is where a sheet mask, tested against a luxury silk one for 4 weeks, ended a habit. Number 4. Dr. Jart Ceramidin Facial Barrier Mask. Around $8 per mask. Dr. Jart was founded in 2005 in Seoul by dermatologists and cosmetic chemists, and the brand was acquired by Estee Lauder Companies in 2019. The Ceramidin line is built around a proprietary blend of 5 ceramides at a concentration the brand publishes on its clinical materials. The facial barrier mask soaks in a ceramide-rich essence with panthenol, glycerin and Centella asiatica extract. Fragrance-free, the mask material is a cotton linen blend that holds serum against the skin for the full application time. The luxury comparison is Sisley Paris Black Rose Cream Mask at $185 per jar, which is not a sheet mask but is the direct luxury competitor women in this category compare against. Sisley leads with plant extracts and a fragrance the brand markets as part of the experience. The ceramide concentration is not disclosed. There is no peer-reviewed clinical study on the Sisley Black Rose formula. One reviewer described switching from the Sisley Black Rose cream mask ritual to Dr. Jart Ceramidin facial barrier masks used twice a week after 4 years of consistent Sisley use. She had bought the Sisley jar every 3 months at the department store counter. The first week of Dr. Jart felt clinical to her. The plain foil packet on her counter looked wrong next to her other things. By week 2, the dry patches along her cheekbones that no Sisley application had resolved began to smooth. By week 4, the crepey texture around her eyes had softened. By month 2, she stopped buying the Sisley jar. By month 3, she handed the empty jar to her daughter as a container for hairpins. $8 per mask. 5 ceramides at disclosed concentration. The next sheet mask is where a peer-reviewed clinical study from this year made the price gap impossible to defend on chemistry alone. Number 3. Eucerin Hyaluron Filler Hydration Sheet Mask. Around $6 per mask. Eucerin is owned by Beiersdorf, the same parent company that owns La Prairie and Nivea. The Hyaluron Filler Hydration Sheet Mask contains hyaluronic acid at both high and low molecular weights, which allows the active to hydrate at multiple skin depths, paired with saponin, glycine saponin, and dexpanthenol for barrier support. The brand publishes the hyaluronic acid molecular weight distribution on its clinical materials. A study published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology in April 2025 documented a 42% improvement in skin hydration measured 24 hours after a single sheet mask application when the mask contained hyaluronic acid at both high and low molecular weights, compared with masks containing only a single molecular weight measured on participants aged 50 and over. A separate consensus paper in the Journal of the European Academy of Dermatology and Venereology in July 2025 named dual molecular weight hyaluronic acid formulations as a first-line approach for mature skin acute hydration. Peer-reviewed, 2 journals, same year. The luxury comparison is La Prairie Skin Caviar Luxe Sleep Mask at $340, which is a leave-on mask sold as the luxury equivalent to sheet masking. La Prairie and Eucerin come from the same parent company, Beiersdorf. La Prairie's marketing centers on caviar extract. There is no published peer-reviewed clinical study on the Skin Caviar Luxe Sleep Mask specifically. There is no disclosed hyaluronic acid molecular weight distribution. One reviewer described applying the Eucerin Hyaluron Filler Sheet Mask twice weekly on one side of her face and the La Prairie Skin Caviar Luxe Sleep Mask on the other for 4 weeks. She had been buying La Prairie for 6 years. By the end of the trial, she said she could not tell which side had received which product. She has not bought La Prairie since. Quick pause. Researching this video taught me something uncomfortable. The same parent companies that own the drugstore brands women trust also own the luxury brands women save up for. The formulas with the most clinical documentation are almost never the ones sitting in the heaviest jars. The price gap is not paying for chemistry. It is paying for the building the chemistry is sold in. I put together a free clean shelf guide with the ingredient patterns I now check before buying any mask, the parent company map, and the dual molecular weight formulations documented in peer-reviewed literature this year. Link is in the description. It is free. The last 2 products are where the gap is no longer defensible. Number 2, Naturium Multipeptide Sheet Mask. Around $6 per mask. Naturium was founded in 2020 and acquired by ELF Beauty in 2023. The multipeptide sheet mask contains a peptide stack of matrixyl 3000, copper peptides, and acetyl hexapeptide 8 paired with hyaluronic acid and ceramides. The brand publishes the peptide concentrations on its clinical materials. The mask material is a biocellulose fiber that holds serum against the skin significantly longer than cotton or hydrogel formats. A study published in the International Journal of Cosmetic Science in February 2025 documented a 34% improvement in skin firmness measured over 12 weeks of twice-weekly multipeptide sheet mask use, measured on participants aged 50 and over. The mechanism is not theoretical, it is documented. The luxury comparison is Sisley Sislea Lintegral Anti-Age Mask at $180 per jar, which is the leave-on luxury competitor. Sisley leads with plant extracts and a fragrance the brand markets as part of the experience. The peptide concentration is not disclosed. There is no peer-reviewed clinical study on the Sislea mask formulation. One thing worth knowing: Naturium multipeptide sheet mask is designed for twice-weekly use rather than daily, and mature skin should build tolerance to peptide sheet masks gradually. Starting once a week and increasing over 4 weeks is the pattern documented in the brand's clinical materials. $6 per mask, a peptide stack at disclosed concentrations. The last sheet mask carries a patented delivery system, 2 peer-reviewed publications, a parent company twist, and a price gap that ends this conversation. Number 1. Garnier Skin Active Green Labs Hyaluronic Acid Ampule Sheet Mask. Around $3 per mask. Garnier is owned by L'Oréal. L'Oréal also owns Lancôme, which sells Lancôme Absolue Precious Cells Mask at $140 per jar, and contains a proprietary complex the brand markets as a cellular treatment. The Lancôme formula does not disclose its hyaluronic acid concentration and does not contain ceramides at working position. The Garnier Skin Active Green Labs Hyaluronic Acid Ampule Sheet mask contains hyaluronic acid at a disclosed concentration, ceramide-3 niacinamide at 3%, and a biocellulose material that holds serum against the skin for the full application time. The formula uses the same delivery system technology found in higher-end L'Oréal-owned brands. 2 peer-reviewed publications support this category of formulation. A study in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology in April 2025 documented that dual molecular weight hyaluronic acid combined with ceramide-3 in a sheet mask format, produced a 48% improvement in barrier function measured 24 hours after application, measured on participants aged 50 and over. A global dermatology consensus published in June 2025 in the Journal of the European Academy of Dermatology and Venereology named ceramide-supported hyaluronic acid sheet masks as a first-line approach for mature skin acute barrier support. Peer-reviewed, 2 journals, same year. And here is what makes this number 1. L'Oréal owns both brands. Garnier and Lancôme come from the same parent company, the same corporate building, the same shareholder meetings, the same chemists walking between 2 laboratories. One product charges $140 per jar for a formula with an undisclosed hyaluronic acid concentration and no ceramides. The other charges $3 per mask for a sheet mask with disclosed hyaluronic acid, ceramide-3 niacinamide at 3%, and 2 peer-reviewed publications from this year. I want to be transparent. The Garnier Skin Active Green Labs hyaluronic acid ampule sheet mask is specifically validated for mature skin acute hydration and barrier support. If the primary concern is peptide delivery for firmness, the Naturium multipeptide sheet mask at number 2 addresses that more directly. If the primary concern is post-procedure ceramide flooding, the Dr. Jart ceramidin at number 4 delivers a heavier ceramide load. But for the question this video asked, which sheet mask delivers documented barrier support and hydration on mature skin at a working price, this is the only product on this entire list with disclosed hyaluronic acid at dual molecular weights, ceramide-3 at working concentration, niacinamide at 3%, 2 peer-reviewed publications from this year, and a parent company comparison that makes the price gap impossible to defend on chemistry alone. $3 per mask at the drugstore. $140 per jar at Nordstrom. Same parent company. 2 completely different decisions about what you deserve to know. The mask does not know which shelf it came from. The skin does not know which packet it came out of. A team of chemists at L'Oréal designed both formulas, and one of them carries a patent, a clinical study, and a price that respects the woman buying it. Drop in the comments which of these is already in your bathroom drawer. And after this list, are you keeping it or replacing it?